You're watching Everywhere You Are. This is Julian, and if you forgot who your host is, I'm Erika Santos. We're here at Melt Bakery. Julian, before we even get started, before you show me anything that we're going to do, before I get to taste testing all of this...
The best part.
Yes, the best part, the delicious ice cream sandwiches. Talk to us about Melt Bakery. Give us a brief rundown of how long you've been here, how it started.
Sure.
Whatever you want to say to the audience out there so that they know who you are.
Sure thing. So we started in 2010. We did a couple other products at that time other than ice cream sandwiches, but we quickly realized that we wanted to just really focus on ice cream sandwiches and try to do one thing well. You know what I mean?
Looks good to me.
So we started there in 2010 at the Hester Street Fair right here on the Lower East Side. We started at the High Line in April of 2011.
Okay.
Well, we got the contract in April. We started there in June of 2011. We built our store the same summer. So we ended up here. We opened as a retail store June of 2012. We started using it as a kitchen in 2011.
You guys you've been busy.
Yeah, we keep busy and we grow in a controlled way. I don't want to say slow because it seems pretty quick. Like we've got a lot of momentum.
You guys are going to follow us into the kitchen, and Julian's going to show me how to make, I guess, one of these beautiful sandwiches. Which one did you say, this one right here?
The Cinemax, yeah, snickerdoodles and cinnamon ice cream.
And I can't wait.
It's a good springboard.
And I know you can't either. So stay tuned, and you'll be able to watch us make these delicious ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah, come on back.
Like I said before, we're here at Melt Bakery. This is Julian, and today what are you showing us how to make? Because I've seen all the ice cream sandwiches already, and I want to eat each and every one of them, but he's only going to let me make one. So he's being a little cheap with me here, but then again, I got to keep this figure. So talk to me about what we're making today.
It's push and pull,
Yeah, I know.
So we're going to make today the snickerdoodle cookie, which is one of my favorite ones that we do. It's one of our most popular flavors, and what I really love about it, Erika, is that a lot of people make a cookie and they don't have a name for it and they call it a snickerdoodle.
Yes.
But a snickerdoodle is a real thing. It's from the late 19th century. It was a New England-based recipe. One of the key ingredients in snickerdoodles is cream of tartar, which is actually a byproduct of grape juice or winemaking.
Never knew that. Learning something new today.
There you go. And it's actually a tartaric acid salt. So when it dissolves in the cookie dough, it's a little acidic. It reacts with the baking soda, which is alkaline, and it gives it this crackly surface, which is sort of a characteristic of the snickerdoodle, and it makes it really light and puffy inside. It's beautiful. It's one of my faves.
Just the fact that he is so into this right now is making me even more excited / more hungry. So I guess we're gonna jump right into it, because now, I've never, to be honest, I think I've probably tasted the snickerdoodle maybe once or twice in my life.
Awesome.
So I'm getting really excited, and maybe this could become the Erika Santos snickerdoodle ice cream sandwich.
Maybe we'll call it the Erika.
Just for today, you know, at least I can feel a little special.
One thing that I do love about this recipe too is that a lot of snickerdoodle recipes, they were really popular maybe in the 1950s, and one thing that was really, really common was shortening, because we didn't know it was bad for you back then. It was one of those things that was like, you know, it was really popular, it was new, it was easy, it was cheap. So I actually had to back solve for this recipe and create a recipe that had the same like emulsification properties and all that stuff, but that wasn't artificial in any way. So I'm really proud of this recipe.
Okay, cool.
So we start with butter, unsalted butter, good old butter. We use a high-fat European style butter. It's really silky, it's really smooth.
I like that.
Really buttery.
Silky and smooth like our skin.
That's right.
Okay,
that's right.
I like that.
That's what makes it so soft. It's all the butter. And then we'll have our sugar. I've also put in here the leavening, which in this case is just baking soda.
Okay.
The cream of tartar, which is this powder right here.
Okay.
And then our salt.
All right, cool.
Okay, I like to mix that. Some people mix it with the flour, but it's easier for it to distribute in a fat than it is for it to distribute in another powder.
Got it.
So I'm going to mix that with that, as you'll see. Got our eggs, and they're okay. Don't worry, nothing's wrong with them. There's a little vanilla in there as well.
That's fine.
And then we've got our flour. And that's it. It's really straightforward recipe. The first ingredient we're going to start with all by itself is our butter, and we want to do what's called creaming. We want to cream the butter. In other words, just break it up and get it mixed till it's really, really smooth and light and aerated. It'll give the dough some structure to work with. And depending on the temperature of the butter, it might need 2 or 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. Depends on how cold it is or how warm it is. Alright, so that's nice and creamy now and really smooth. It's really broken up. It's a little warmer from the friction. Really important in cookie making, Erika, you want to make sure you scrape your bowl often so that the ingredients can homogenize. You want a really even dough. That'll help you make better cookies. So scraping is super important. kind of a pain, but it's worth it. When you taste the cookie, you'll be glad you scraped it. So our next ingredient to go in would be the sugar, the salt, the baking soda, and the cream of tartar. Just add that all at once. And then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to cream it again together until it's really, really smooth and really homogeneous. The sugar won't be dissolved. It'll still be a little granular, but it'll be really even and really nice and really well aerated. All right, so we're going to continue by scraping that one more time. Just make sure that all gets off the sides of the bowl. And the beater. You do get to lick the beater, but not yet. Still has work to do. All right, and now we're going to add our eggs and vanilla. And we don't have to mix this one quite as vigorously. And of course, you want to start slow so that it doesn't splash out. Again, we're going to look for a nice homogeneity to the dough. We want it to look really even, aerated, light. That's the real hallmark to me of a snickerdoodle, is when it's really light and airy on the inside. The structure is just really puffy and beautiful. So we're gonna scoop out our cookies. That's my favorite tool for this, is to use a cookie scoop. It creates the most even, uniform cookies, which uniform cookies isn't the biggest deal in the world, but when you're making ice cream sandwiches, you kind of want them to match.
All right, I can dig it.
So a great thing to do is to rest your dough overnight or for a few hours. It lets the starch absorb all the moisture and it fully hydrates, and then they'll bake more evenly. It's all about even here. So just take a scoop, a nice flat scoop. We're gonna drop them in our cinnamon sugar, which is a hallmark of snickerdoodles. You can't have them if they're not rolled in cinnamon sugar. It's basically a sugar cookie. It's a cinnamon sugar cookie, essentially.
You're doing this like super fast. You mind if I get a...
Yeah, here.
Let me see if I can try.
We got a bunch more to do here. I'll trade spots with you.
Yeah, let me see. So I'm just scooping.
Yep.
And then...
Yep, fill it and then sort of cut it off on the edge of the bowl there. Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
This is how you know that I don't...
Are you looking for part-time work, or...?
I am.
Okay. Make sure I have your resume here before you leave.
I don't know if that
Yeah, get it really full. You get it really full.
Okay.
And then cut it off.
All right. Well, mine don't look as great as Julian's, but...
afternoon, we'll train
that
you.
was terrible. Never mind. I'll let Julian go back to doing what he was doing. Okay, so we have these dough balls going in here. What else do we got going on?
So that's really it. Then we're just going to coat them in cinnamon sugar, okay? We're going to put them on our tray. And, you know, we'll fill the whole tray with them. And one thing that I've found is really helpful, and if you look at old cookie recipes, it'll say this. It says press gently with the back of a wooden spoon or whatever. If you start with something round, you're going to finish with something round.
Yeah.
If you start with something that's like a nice round scoop like this, it'll be round, but it might be too high, especially for an ice cream sandwich, which is what we use all of our cookies for. So we just lightly press them down into little patties. And that helps them bake really evenly, really uniformly, and it gives us a cookie that is exactly the right thickness.
Okay, so now we're in the back of Melt Bakery, and Julian has put together these lovely cookies for us. I clearly didn't do a very good job, but he says I did because he's trying to be nice to me, which is very, very sweet. So what's the next steps? Where are we going? Because obviously everyone is anticipating this ice cream sandwich.
Of course. So we've got our tops and our bottoms, essentially. I just flip some of the cookies over. That'll just help speed the process along. When you're putting ice cream on them, obviously you want to be pretty efficient.
You do.
So we're going to put them together pretty quickly. Got my ice cream ready to go.
Okay.
We're going to just assemble them together, put them in this bin, and then drop those in the freezer. That's one thing about ice cream sandwiches that I find to be really helpful is if you assemble them and then refreeze them.
Okay.
That way when you eat them, it's not a sloppy mess.
How long should they be in the freezer once you put them
Just
in?
until they're firm. I mean, if it's a really good freezer, half an hour, you can do it. The nice thing though is you can do it way ahead of time. So if you're gonna have them at an event or something, you can have them ready to go and they'll be really, really solid. It'll give you extra time to sort of get them out before, you don't wanna show up, you don't wanna leave the kitchen with a tray of ice cream sandwiches and walk out into your picnic with a tray of breakfast cereal, right?
Yeah, we don't like that. We want them the way that they're supposed to be. So let's jump into it so that you guys out there, I know you're all like salivating right at this point, and I get to taste it.
All right, I'll grab the ice cream.
Okay.
Okay, we've got 18 of our pucks.
Okay.
On this tray, and this is the simple part. This isn't the most probably exciting part. One thing I do like to do is give them just a little squeeze to help them just sort of. Okay. You don't want to break the cookie at all. You want to jump in?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Let me make sure I don't drop any. All right, so I'm gonna grab one of these. I'll grab a puck, an ice cream puck, as Julian says.
Yep, and then grab a top.
And then you said firm.
Just really lightly squeeze it. Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of just helps it stick a little bit.
I think I'm doing a good job here.
You are.
Say yes, cameraman Roger. Okay, thank you. Make me feel good about it. Okay, so we're back in the front with Julian, and he has 3 delicious ice cream sandwiches placed out here for us. So talk to us about each and every one of them. So I know you're gonna wrap them.
Yeah,
show
for sure.
us the deliciousness, how good they look. Let's go. I'm ready.
Well, I definitely wanted to start with the Cinemax because it's the one we just made together.
Perfect.
So you can see after it's been in the freezer and we wrapped it, and it's together, it's all cured, and you'll see what I mean about it not being super smushy.
Okay.
So this is a sandwich. I'm just going to cut it in half so we can sort of see, or cut it in quarters. These cut really, really nicely, but you can see the layers.
Love it.
It's so
I love
nice,
it.
yeah. All right, Erica. All right, let's cut them all.
All right, let's cut them all first. Let's cut them all first, so that I can get a bite of each and every one of them. I can't help but say I'm very excited. And Julian, you're wonderful on camera. I have to say that I don't want to make anyone else out there feel bad who's done a show with Everywhere You Are, because everyone has been perfect. But Julian, you have been absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure. I love what I do, and I'm really passionate about it. And I love to teach people how to bake and how to make stuff. So
I love it.
So I'm really passionate about it.
All right, get to cutting. Come on.
All right.
We gotta go.
So this is the next one. This is our classic. It's actually our all-time bestseller. Chocolate chip walnut cookies and vanilla ice cream. We use vanilla beans. It's a really beautiful vanilla ice cream. I actually tried to duplicate a vanilla ice cream from my childhood. And I kept playing with this one until the flavor was exactly what I wanted. And then the last one I pulled out is my personal favorite. It's called Morticia.
Okay.
Because it's a little elegant and all in black.
Okay.
It's our crackly chocolate cookies, and the ice cream is a malted chocolate rum. The rum is really a background player for me in this one. The star is malt.
Got it.
It's like an old-fashioned milkshake flavor, and it's far and away my favorite sandwich.
Okay. All right.
So dig in.
Oh my gosh. All right.
You have to start with the Cinemax.
All right. Oh my gosh. This looks. Honestly, can I tell you something?
Tell me.
This is probably maybe the second ice cream sandwich I've ever eaten in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Then start with the Morticia.
No. I want to start with
Start with the
first.
Cinemax.
Okay. If I look like a pig on camera, I don't even apologize. Just forget it. That's really good. No, that's really good.
Hey, you made it.
It tastes delicious. Alright, I'm gonna go to the next. I kind of want to take another bite of it, but I know I gotta go to the other one.
Take another bite. It's just a little bite.
Okay, Julian says so. Oh.
You see what I mean about the cookie though? Like how it's puffy. It's not
So
soft,
good.
but it's puffy. I mean, it's not hard, but it's almost like a foam that gets created with the cream and tartar and the baking soda. That's a snickerdoodle.
This is really good. This is really, really good. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. I'm gonna put that.
Here. We'll do a nice dainty slice. So this is the classic. This is the all-time bestseller.
And you said this is the one that you worked on perfecting.
Yeah, really, we work on perfecting all of them, but the ice cream, I wanted to capture the specific ice cream that I had in my hometown when I was a kid.
Okay.
It's vanilla ice cream.
And your hometown is?
It's called Williamson. It's upstate New York. It's between Rochester and Syracuse.
I know exactly what it is. I went to Niagara University.
Get out of here. That's awesome.
I was taking the cookies here.
Sorry? Oh, that's right. You did the subtitle, right? Closed captioning? Okay, you're good.
That one's awesome. Excuse me. Let's go to Morticia.
Okay, Morticia, yeah. So this nice end note. So it's really probably one of our richest sandwiches.
I'm fine with that.
Malt. The malt, I love that malt with that chocolate. It's just like an old-fashioned milkshake, only it's an ice cream sandwich.
I like that too.
And we call these crackly chocolate cookies because they have like cracks running through the surface of them. They remind me of an old cookie also from my childhood that you could buy. The brand was Archway. Remember Archway cookies?
Yes,
I don't know if they're even around anymore, but
you know what? I haven't seen them in years. But
yeah, it was.
Here we go. This is the closest to them. So
yeah.
my last one. Okay, so I think this one is a tie in the snickerdoodle one and Morticia. I like the middle one.
It's a good go-to. It's a good go-to.
But I am a big chocolate lover.
Well, we're at our store right now. Our flagship store is at Orchard Street between Delancey and Rivington. It's 132 Orchard Street. We're open 7 days a week. We're open year-round. In the summer, our hours are Sunday through Thursday, 12 to 10, and Friday, Saturday, 12 to midnight. Ooh. Sometimes we stay open a little later if there's a line out the door.
With everything the way that it tastes, I'm almost positive that there's lines out the door.
In the summer, those nice summer evenings, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
But we're also in the High Line and in Washington Square Park. From April to October, we have a cart on both of those locations.
Like that.
And High Line is 11 to 9 every day, and Washington Square Park is 12 to 8 or 12 to 9, depending on the day of the week.
Oh, so they're everywhere.
We're getting around.
They're making sure that everyone's tummies are full with this deliciousness. So thank you very much, Julian, for being on Everywhere You Are. I honestly, God, these were so delicious.
This is a
I
pleasure.
enjoyed them.
Thank you.
And I hope everyone out there comes and visits the Melt Bakery because this
Come
place
see
is
us.
awesome.
We have a lot of flavors in the shop.
And my tummy's nice and full. Bye.